or whatever we got going on. It'll just to help better relationships. I think that's good for what we all need to learn. But
you gotta have that balance.
You gotta have that balance.
You gotta have that balance.
You gotta what's yin and yang.
You gotta have. You know what I'm saying? You can't be one sided, because if it's one sided, you're gonna have some problems. You're gonna have some battles. You know what I'm saying? Some unwanted battles at that. So I mean, you gotta have. I mean, I come from, my parents have been married, my grandparents married, till death, and you gotta have that balance, bro. Like, if you ain't got that balance, I've seen my pops go here, my mom stay here. Right. just to level him out, cause and she just, okay. He get mad, but he can't stay mad too long. I've watched that as a kid, you know what I'm saying? So when he comes down, then she starts to level him out. She starts to talk to him and stuff like that. Then they communicating again. Then at the end of the night, you see them back in the bed, they sleep, wake up in the morning doing the same thing. Morning.
That's how he is with me. I'm going to be like up here and he'll be like, okay. It makes me feel ridiculous, and so then I have to come down.
So I feel like for the how would y'all say, growing up, you're looking at watching your parents, relationship, how has that affected the way you view or how the way you go about your own relationship?
Well, I think for me, it's what I've always wanted, just having both my parents, because at a point in time I was on the town.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then my brother came. So I'm around them all the time. If I'm not with my mom, with my dad, and vice versa, you know what I'm saying? It was just me and them. And just experiencing that love and that companionship that they had, something I always wanted. And I remember as a kid saying, yeah, I just want one, just like you did. So that's what I want. I want what your mommy got. As a kid, as a baby saying that shit, like, no, how would a baby know about it?
Right.
But I knew that's what I wanted, you know what I'm saying? So I think it was a big influence on my life to help me get to where I want to be. And I'm still trying to get there, but every step I take is a learning process. So I'm taking it with me. And
you know why you wanted that? Because you saw it every day.
Yeah.
That's why you wanted it.
I mean, that goes back to what, the fatherhood episode when you said, kids are visionary. They see everything.
Right.
That was me growing up. I'm seeing, from a young age, I'm seeing, my parents, they in the living room, they wrestling and stuff. They tussling and, they showing love in front of us. But then over the years, I saw lesson. And then once it got to my junior, senior in high school, I really saw the lesson a lot. And then once I left the house, things really changed. And then I'm just like, damn, is that how I want mine to be? Just beginning the relationship, you showing the same energy. Y'all both giving in the same energy. So, everything is, is love and affection, is romance. And then over the years, it dies down. It's just like, what does it take for it to keep the same energy all 20, 30, 50, 60 years being married or just being together, whichever one it may be? And I'm just like, I don't want to be like that for the most part. I really don't. And I'm just trying to make sure that I make the right decisions and make sure that we're both compromising for whatever we got going on, so that we can show, our child, so she can see the same love and affection, throughout her life at the same time too.
My parents are divorced, and I grew up in a military family, so we moved around a lot, and it was chaotic, I'll say. And that's no disrespect to either of my parents, because I have a great relationship with both of my parents, but I feel that chaos, it grew up in me, and the way I see relationships based on what my parents had, I always felt like I wanted to be married and I wanted to do the opposite of what I saw. So, but then as getting in relationships over the years. Like I'm almost 40 now, so getting in relationships over the years and having them to not work out, not understanding or understanding how to communicate, having these preconceived notions about marriage that I hadn't even identified in my own thought patterns, helped me to manifest the same chaos, even though I was trying my best not to, and so being with Stefan now, we've been friends and only friends for so many years, so we kind of had that communication already there. So then when we, switch gears, it surprised me and almost made me crazy with this because like we joke all the time about that part in Avatar when they went up to the Hallelujah Mountains to find the dragon.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, how will I know which one is mine? And she was like, she will try to kill you. And I feel like that sometimes, like I'm like, and I ask myself, why do you do these things? But the communication helps me to come back to balance and helps me to understand, that these things were manifested before I even understood what a relationship was or what it was that I wanted. And to the point where I felt like maybe I never wanted to get married, And even now, I don't have to have a certificate because the marriage to me takes place in here.
Right.
And I feel like every day that we have a problem, it generates that rubber to the road type of, resistance. Mm-hmm. It gives us exactly what we need to move forward. And it helps me to understand that every day this man marries me in the heart space because it's that balance again of the masculine and feminine. And so that's happening every moment, every day. Tantra.
Right.
If you're familiar with Tantra, mm-hmm. It's not just sexual, it's a energetic exchange of moment to moment, how you interact every day.
Kinetic.
Yeah.
It's kind of sound like me and my wife's situation. She had no desire to be married or any of that when I met her. We was just in a relationship, but we've been married now and we've been together now for 17 years. So, you know what I mean? So, I understand what you're saying from a woman's point of view because of some of her past experiences with me. She was just like, it is what it is,
right?
But then it takes a man to come along and show him. So
right.
that's the difference. You had somebody come along and show you.
Right.
So I'm gonna change it up a little bit since we talking about marriage, but we're gonna go before the marriage, the dating thing. So what's y'all thoughts on casual dating? Everybody, what's y'all thoughts on like casual dating? Just because you're moving from you're keeping options open. So what is it? What's y'all thoughts? What's y'all viewpoints on casual dating?
I'll say the same thing in a relationship, man. Just keep it honest, keep it real. I mean, you put it out there, who you are and what you doing. Like you give people options to deal with you. So if you just be honest, don't know what it is. I mean, if you want to go out on a date, you want to go for drinks, you want to go to the movies, okay. If you want to take somebody else to the movies, all right. You single, you single. But if this is your option, if you picking this one, well, you better be on point. You know what I'm saying? You better be on point. So you gotta open the door for them to let them know like this is what it is. This is who I am. This is what I'm bringing to the table. So she can move accordingly, or that your partner can move accordingly.
All my relationships were serious. Actually, all my relationships were serious. So it was just, if I'm gonna be in a relationship with you, I want you to know that, there's no talking to nobody. There's no best friends, different things like that. So I was just, I was in a relationship looking for, long, been there for long periods of time, and looking for marriage. So that's basically. my outlooks on relationships. I wanted to be with people for years, not date you for 2 weeks and then find somebody else.